What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Slimpy Studio and Happy New Year. We're in the year 2025, and that is crazy to me. I promised you I'd be back in 2025, so here I am. I'm going to be talking a bit about my year of 2024 in general, as well as things I want to do differently for this year. Personal and YouTube, I guess, are going to be my focus. A little bit of school kind of throws into the personal side too. Um, but basically, I'm pretty proud of myself for posting very consistently throughout 2024. In previous, like, really, it's the most consistent I've been since 2021 when it comes to my channel, because it's crazy. My channel started in 2017 and I posted off and on. I was in elementary school. What else do you expect? And then starting in eighth grade during COVID, I really picked up the channel and posted a lot, and I really was consistent through there. And then once I started high school, posting became less and less and less. Um, so I had to learn to balance myself. And in 2024, I came up with a compromise 2 to 3 videos per week, usually two during the school year and three during the summer. And that really worked out well. I do think it's gotten a little bit worse during my senior year, but I still feel like I've been able to keep things up pretty well. The one exception being the Walking Dead podcast, which I'm here to tell you we are discontinuing that. You're hearing it from me first. We actually had not even watched it for a long time. Like, we haven't watched it since maybe October. It's crazy. Um, and look, the reason for that is we are way too busy to commit to a podcast. I do not have that many days of the week that I'm off at that time, and usually I'm doing homework if I even am home around 8 or 9 when we would usually watch it. There's just not time for that, and it's a bummer because I really did like the show. I love the show. In fact, I got a Tyrese pop figure. Yeah, Tyrese. And I love Tyrese. We talked in the podcast all the time. Tyrese is like me and my dad's one of our all-time favorite characters, like top three. It was Herschel, Tyrese, and Beth. Um, so yeah, it was a nice present. I did appreciate that, but I haven't really been thinking about The Walking Dead much recently. I think we'll get back into it at some point, even if it's like during breaks or summer or something like that. But we're actually going to be starting to watch Monday Night Raw, which is going to be interesting. So I'm looking forward to that, of course. But yeah, basically, 2024 was an interesting year for sure. I'm proud of my channel. That's for sure. I think my channel has been one of the highlights for this year. However, there were some low points to my personal life. The year started off really sad. I got into a car accident. It was pouring down rain. The lights were not enough to see that the person that was turning right into a driveway and I was turning left. I had the right of way. I think it was all super confusing to me. It ended up the car was damaged and had to be totaled. I did get a new car, a 2016 Ford Focus, and it's running really well. I'm so appreciative of my parents for buying that for me. It's definitely been very smooth. I've enjoyed it. So I do think, though, the hard thing was is that to me it really made my grief about my grandma come back, and it's something I've really dealt with over the years. Is struggling to get over it, I guess. But I guess to me, the lesson I've learned from it is that you're never going to get over grieving someone, because if they were important enough to grieve, like, if you miss someone, that means they're worth missing. It means you had a great person in your life, someone to turn to and everything. And that's the way I felt about her. So to me, it's not the case of, oh, you have to get over it, you have to move on. No, it's the fact that they are worth missing, and that's what matters. They were such an important presence in your life, and no one should tell you to get over it, because if they tell you that, you're not going to get over it. That's how life works. That's how your mindset works. When you're told to do something, you might try to do it, but it's not going to work because you have to make that decision for yourself. So it was my grandma's car is the reason why. She passed about 4 years ago, and it was really hard um, because every time I drove it, I felt like this was her legacy that I was driving. And then the accident happened, and it was so tricky to navigate. Not only the my stress levels going up, my fear of driving going up, um, but also feeling like I let her down, and it was tricky. And people telling me, like, joking around about it to me, and not really taking it seriously. It was just tricky, and um, yeah, it was hard. It was really hard. And I'm still not completely over it. I mean, I do think with the new car has helped me a lot. Um, But let me tell you something, is that if someone's telling you to get over grieving someone, or if you feel like you're being forced to focus on something else, focus on something more important, well, guess what? You or they are wrong, okay? Because the important thing is that you grieve, and your grief matters, okay? How you grieve, that is totally up to you. No one should judge you for it, okay? Everyone grieves differently, and that's been proven. There's no fact stating that everyone grieves the same, or that there's a certain way you have to grieve. That is completely inaccurate, and that's something I've learned, that everyone's going to grieve in different ways. No one should tell you otherwise. I've definitely have grieved in a more passive approach. I'm not like a very angry person, if you know me at all. I'm more passive, and I do have a tendency to hold things in, which is why I love to talk to people about it when I get the chance, because there are certain people in my life that are great support systems and will listen to me, and they can tell me stuff and I'll listen to them. And I feel like the hard thing is that, especially in high school, when you have the whole social media thing and everything preventing you from having those deep relationships, especially if you're a guy. And unfortunately, there's the stereotype that if you are a guy, you're not going to have as deep of relationships as girls do. And that sucks. That is a crappy stereotype, if you ask me, because I think guys should have the same access to relation or good relationships as girls do. The funny thing is that most of these friendships have actually ended up being girls. Now, I have my friend Wyatt, who I've collabed with on this channel, and he's been a great support system if I've ever needed to talk to him about something. Um, there's a few other guys in my life, but it has mostly primarily been girls, and I guess they're easier to talk to in that sense. And I think it's just a different type of relationship to me. So I am super appreciative of those support systems. And here's another thing to take away from this video, is that find the people that truly care. Find the people that will stand up for you. Find the people that will help you when you need it the most. Not the people that are going to tear you down, judge you, critique you, tell you you're doing something wrong, or someone who's just brutally honest to you and it makes you feel hurt. Okay, there's people say brutal honesty is the way to go. Maybe in some cases, but to me, I've never felt like brutal honesty helps. I really honestly think it only makes the person who's struggling feel even worse, especially if it's someone who's supposed to be a friend to them. So I'm telling you, don't use brutal honesty as a tactic to tell someone to get over something or to supposedly help someone through something that they're struggling with, because I've just never found that it works. So, and if that works for you, that's great. But to me, I don't think that's healthy. And that's something I've dealt with a lot throughout the years, is people just telling it to me straight up, get over it, blah, blah, blah. And that works on some people, and that's great for them, but not for me. I've never felt like that's worked for me. So I would say, um, this was kind of a hard year for relationships for me. I'm not really going to get in deep about that. But someone who I was really close friends with, we kind of drifted apart. And it was a struggle. I had never felt like there was a good reason for us drifting apart, and except the fact that he had a girlfriend and that she was his priority, and I just never felt like I never felt anything deep after a while, and it just felt very surface level, high in the hallways. And I think at that time I needed a deeper relationship at a time where I felt like I was really struggling with, the car accident, and just and not having that many friendships at all. I mean, I would say my senior year, as of right now, I have way more friendships than I did at and this time last year. The only real friendship I would think I would have, is with this guy, and we're not really friends anymore. We're not enemies by any means. It's just, I think it's hard, and if you're friends with someone who's dating someone, don't expect them just to drop everything for you, but you can expect them to show a little bit of attention towards you, and to be there for you when you need it. And I don't think that's too much to ask for. So that's just me though, and maybe some people think that, okay, their girlfriend is their number one priority. Don't try to force it, and I agree. And that's honestly up to the person themselves. How do they sort their priorities, especially in high school? It's different in high school. To me, I think you could give your friend a lot of attention and still have a girlfriend. I know plenty of people who do it, that they give their friends a lot of attention. They don't completely set themselves on their girlfriend or partner. So I don't know. I think that's just something to keep in mind, is if you are one who is struggling with that, have a friend, or even if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend and you have a friend who you feel you're not giving enough attention to, it might be something to reevaluate, especially if they're feeling lonely or if they're going through something. It's not that hard to reach out at an olive branch and support them, and that it doesn't take that much, in my opinion. So that's just something to keep in mind, if you're struggling with that. But I am really happy with the friendships I have right now. I feel like they're really honest and they're deep and people I can laugh with and just relate to. And I really feel like I've hit the ballpark with the friends that I have, and I'm really appreciative of it. And there's really good friendships, and I'm not complaining. I'm so blessed to have these people in my life. After years of struggling with friendships, really even since sophomore year, about midway through, I've been craving good friends, and especially when junior year felt like there was just one person, and that was tricky. That was really tricky to try to navigate that in. It was hard. But yeah, senior year kind of started out rough because me and this guy weren't really that close anymore, and I felt really alone. And then I don't know, maybe about in November, I really felt like I started gaining these new friendships, and I think, which is going to be my next topic, that had to do with the election because I know a lot of friends were upset with how the election went and the way it went, and I was upset too. And I'm not really going to get into it on here, but a lot of my friends struggle with it and I struggle with it. And to me, the power of it is that we create a support system for all of us to lean on each other with. And that was what mattered to me, is that I was not alone in it. In fact, I realized we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I feel like with a lot of my friends, even if they weren't, um, 100% far left, they still kind of understood where the people who were struggling came from. And I appreciate that, especially my friend Wyatt, who's very neutral in the whole thing. And he saw where I was coming from and he understood it. And that's like the type of people you need in your life. The type of people that lift you up, the type of people who make you feel like you're good enough. And I'm telling you, if someone is telling you that you're not good enough, you need to get them out of your life, okay? Because you deserve better than mediocrity in a friendship. And yeah, so take with that, if there's one thing to take away from this video, I want you to take that with you. You deserve so much better than something that's surface level. And yeah, that's how I felt. Anyways, after going through something like that, that is really something that I felt. So yeah, take with that what you will. I'm not going back on that though, that's for sure. Um, but I really do think the election was a wake up call to me and really solidified those friendships for me. And it didn't stop me from feeling upset about how things went, but it was easier. And I do think things can be easier if you have those people to talk to. It doesn't take away the pain of what you might be going through, but it's so much better than suppressing everything inside of you, because that is the worst thing to do. In my case, that is the worst thing to do, suppressing everything. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would not disagree with me on that. It's not healthy. So please don't suppress your feelings. Don't hide your feelings, because your feelings matter. And for those of you who know what my project is and have been waiting for that this whole video, there it is. Your feelings matter. That is my senior project. Doing a kind of mental health awareness project, getting resources out there to people who need it, partnering with a local organization to promote that, and also me sharing how my mental health has affected my journey and how my overall consensus on that is feeling like my feelings haven't mattered the whole way through my life. And there's been times where I've really struggled with it, and that is where I'm speaking from out of experience for this project, and it's something I'm deeply passionate about. And the election only made me further support this. So yeah, I'm here to tell you that your feelings matter, and I'm posting on my TikTok more stuff. So I will link it in the description below if that is something you want to watch. I would be more than happy to provide those resources for you. It's something I'm deeply passionate about. I think everyone deserves to have good mental health, because mental health is so overlooked, especially in the grand scheme of things. If you look at the president and the government and the Senate and all that stuff, the one thing they overlook is mental health. Um, Obviously, physical stuff like that, that's all important, but mental health is something that everyone deserves to have good at. And I truly believe that. And my project has only solidified my beliefs in that. And finding people who have been so excited to hear what my project is about and so excited to support me through it has really been a blessing. And I really do feel like, I think I'll share a little bit about it on the channel, maybe a little slideshow or something to show off what I actually did. But I really do feel like that my project, it was the right way to go about it, the right way to go. I love how I'm doing my project. I love everything about it. I would not change a thing. Um, and I do think it's a bit deeper than a lot of these other projects are that students are doing. And that's no, I'm not giving offense to anyone. Um, or any of the seniors who are doing projects, because they are all amazing in their own ways. But to me, I felt like it's hard to do a topic like this. It's not easy. And there are people I know that are doing LGBTQ plus stuff, and props to them, because that topic on its own is so hard. Even in this day and age where I feel like we've gotten better about the whole thing, there's cases where I feel like we've gone downhill as well. So the fact that you are willing to do a minority, or really mental health is not a minority, and I think that that's also part of it too, is that minorities are important, but I'm also thinking, what is something that every single person in my school struggles with or could struggle with? Mental health. And that's kind of where I was coming from. I don't expect to reach that many people from my school personally, but I hope to reach a few. I hope to reach people in my community that are struggling with it, even if they're old. Like, to me, the age doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're getting the help that you need, and that you're taking away something that I'm telling you. And I'm not going to be perfect at this. This is going to be the longest I'm ever going to speak or have spoken so far in my life. I'm not going to be perfect at it, but I'm going to try, because this is something I'm deeply passionate about once again. So stay tuned for more details about that. That's kind of all I have to say about my project. So as far as people that have really been there for me outside of my friends, my family have also been super supportive through me as I've dealt with some really hard things this year. My parents have just been there for me as people to talk to support me, to help me with the insurance stuff from the accident, and really have just been there for me throughout the whole thing. And I really do appreciate that. Another person is my sweet niece, Cece Joy. She just turned 3 in December, and it is crazy to watch her grow up. And she is the cutest thing. She has such a fun personality. She says some of the most ridiculous stuff, and it's such a different lens watching it come out of a 3-year old's mouth. And it's so cute. She is so cute, and I love her to death. So, and having a better relationship with her this year, because at first I just didn't know, because I'm the youngest, so I haven't really been around little kids. How do I develop a relationship with her? That was my biggest struggle. And I really do feel like I've done a good job at it, because she loves me. She smiles when she sees me. And that is what I wanted. That is my dream. Especially, I want to have kids someday. And I really do feel like having a niece who I'm close to is really a good stepping stone to that. So I'm really happy about our relationship and how far it's come. So the other one, of course, is my dog, Chloe. Every time I'm upset, she's always like comes over to me, gives me a hug, however that works. Is always just there, like if I need someone to lay on, and if I'm upset and I'm lonely, even having a dog next to you can go a long way. Trust me. It's still so much better than you just being alone by yourself in a dark room. That's how I felt. Um, so, I appreciate all these people in my life who have been there to support me. My cousin Sarah has also been another one who is really passionate about some of the political stuff, and who really struggle with it as well. And we've been close really since we were kids. So yeah, I really do appreciate her friendship, and I do think there's a statement to be made about cousins, and how sometimes they're a better version of siblings in a way, because with siblings I do feel like you kind of have to watch what you say so they don't tell on your parents. So I do feel like there's truth that with your cousins you have enough in common, because of your parents are like siblings, or however it works for you. You have enough in common, but you're also not too close that there's going to be betrayal, and maybe there still could be betrayal. But I've really felt like me and her had developed such a good friendship over the years, and someone I deeply enjoy hanging out with, and such a great person, and yeah, someone I hold near and dear to my heart. So thank you, Sarah, for that, because you've been a blessing in my life. And other people, my friend Rachel, my friend Ada, my friend Wyatt, so many other people who have just been there for me this year, and I appreciate it so much. You all have no idea. So that's kind of how I'm wrapping up this video. Find the people that will be there for you. Find the people that will have your back, because that is what matters. Not the people that are supposedly your friends who have stabbed you in the back, who don't really treat you that well or treat you mediocrely. So I'm here to tell you today, take away a couple of things. Number one, your feelings matter. That's obvious. Number two, you deserve better than a half-assed friend. So if you have one of those, consider ditching them. I'm sorry. And maybe it's not that easy. And I don't understand your situation, so I'm not going to just tell you what to do. but it's something to consider. Okay, if there's someone who's not being a good friend to you, just consider it. There's nothing wrong with considering it. Talk to someone about it. I really do feel like that can go a long way. So those two things, and also don't let anyone tell you you're not good enough. Nobody. Nobody. Don't let anyone tell you your problems are less significant than someone else's just because they're supposedly a bigger deal. Because guess what? Your problems are just as important as your neighbors, okay? They're all equally important, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That is something I'm super passionate about, and something that I felt like I look over at someone who is going through something big, and then I'm getting told by someone else, oh, like they're going through such a big thing, maybe you could like put your things aside. No, it's all equally important, okay? And that's going to get you nowhere in life if all you're being told is, yeah, like focus on this other person. They're dealing with way more than you are. Let aside go with some of your feelings. They're minor in the grand scheme of things. That's not going to help you at all in life. Okay, so just take that with you. As far as the channel goes, I don't think I'll be doing a lot of stuff on my channel about mental health. I don't want to completely make this the focus of the channel. So if you're wanting more of that, I'll link my Instagram and TikTok down below, and you can check more of that out. I would love to. I would love to for you to see that. So, and for the channel itself, some of the content I have is I'm starting a new podcast reviewing the show Scandal on Disney Plus. Ever since the election, I've gotten way more interested in politics than I've ever been. I was not able to vote in this election. I turned 18 a little bit too late. Um, but I got way more invested in the party system and the voting process and the policies and economics and all that goes into that thing. So I'll be doing reviews on that, and of course, When Calls the Heart just came out last night, and I'll have a review on that later on this week. Still not sure if me and my mother are doing reviews on it, but you'll at least have me to share my thoughts on it, and yeah, so that's kind of it for this video. But thanks everyone for watching. Let me know if you need help. Let me know what you're going through. Let me know what you took away from this video. I really hope I could have reached some of you with this. That was my whole intention with doing this video, as well as me having an outlet to share some stuff that I've been through this year. It's been a rough year, but 2025 is going to be better. I just feel it. Okay, so thanks everyone for listening. I love you all, and bye everyone. See ya.